all got that warmth and care for our fur babies. More than pets, they are our family. And our very own Chiro is with us today.
Just for people to know, first time to
This is her debut.
First time on
and
live
look, she
TV.
matches all of us. And guys, can we just show Chiro's fit?
The outfit,
so
the outfit.
cute.
Let's show it.
She is best
Oh my
dressed.
gosh.
She is the best dressed.
I really want to hug and carry Chiro,
no,
but I
look at
might
the
drop and
baba.
I don't want to lose my job, so I'll leave it to Okay, but of course, you know, beneath all this care is a whole lot of investment that makes sure that they live as healthy as we do. Our guest today champions that, building a strong pet brand easily found in households. Dr. Shiba founder Philipp Renner, did I get that right, is here with us today. Hello, thank you for being here today. Say hi to Chiro as well.
Chiro.
Okay, you own a very well-known pet brand. Tell us about how you got into the pet industry.
So I'm a pet owner myself.
What kind of pet?
I have a golden retriever.
So you have a dog as well?
Yeah, very
Okay.
cute golden retriever who's 9 years old.
You want your toy?
And she was basically the inspiration for Dr. Shiba. So for the longest time, I had been looking for products that would serve her needs. I take supplements myself, very basic stuff. And I wanted to give some basic supplements to her. And even though she's a golden retriever and usually on the street picks up almost anything, she's smart enough to eat around supplements. So whenever I tried feeding her something, it just didn't work. And there was nothing here in the local market. So I thought about how to solve this, and this was how the idea of Dr. Shiba was born. So we originally started with...
She approves.
She approves.
She likes the toys she was playing with.
With supplement
earlier.
treats. Do you want to try one?
Okay,
You
so
want to try a treat? It's okay, it's hypoallergenic, so your mommy watching, it's okay. Oh no. Here, Baba.
so you've actually studied, of course, the Filipino market
Yes.
to be able to do this. How different are Filipino pet owners from how you're usually accustomed to?
I don't know if they're very different, to be honest. I think there's a global trend really around pet humanization. And I think the Philippines is one of the leading countries in terms of dog ownership.
We're not behind?
Sorry?
You said...
Well, dog ownership, you're definitely leading. The Philippines has one of the highest dog ownership rates in the world. Almost 80% of households have a dog, depending on numbers. I think where the Philippines, at least if you look at Manila, and I don't know if you walk around BGC, I mean, look at Chiro, she's completely dressed up. People are treating their dogs more and more like family members.
We see more strollers with dogs
Strollers
than
as well,
babies.
yeah. Exactly.
I'm just curious, Dr. Phil, why you chose the Philippines to do this market? Because you could have done it anywhere. Germany, the US, you live there for a bit, you live in Bali, so why the Philippines?
I grew up in Southeast Asia, actually. I grew up in China and Singapore, and I've always been stayed connected to the region. And when we thought about the brand, we of course studied different markets, and the Filipino market in particular looked very interesting, given the high pet ownership rate. Also high willingness to spend on pet products. And then I think the other thing that is quite prevalent here, even though it's obviously an island country, the logistics work really well, and with the online marketplaces, Shopee, Lazada, nowadays TikTok Shop, it's very easy for people to order. It's also quite easy to sell. And that's why we started here, yeah.
What supplements did you see that are lacking that you see now with your business that's really flying off the shelves?
I mean, we do different things, right? Our best-selling product is called Happy Tummy, and it mainly contains probiotics and prebiotics.
So dogs need probiotics and prebiotics.
It's good for
just
their
like
gut
humans.
health, right? In the end, digestion is a key thing. And that is one of the things that wasn't really available. So that is, what we started with and has become our hero product that most people know us for. But of course, other things, we have Silky Fur here, for example, which contains salmon oil. There's things for fur. There's overall immune system support. It really depends a little bit on the individual dog's needs, right?
Yeah, so you actually mentioned that Filipinos are actually at the forefront of owning pets, of having, especially with dogs. And Mo over here, you know, every time we hear these unfortunate news about typhoons, you're the one who always reminds our mga kababayans to make sure, because it's often forgotten.
It breaks my heart because, right, sometimes they don't, actually most of the time, they cannot evacuate with their pets. I mean, yes, it's happening now more
Some people
often
forget,
some
people
they
do
leave
it
them
by choice.
They leave them chained or they leave them
Yeah, so
in
that
the cage.
currently happens. So what do you think are other things that are mislooked by parent or doggy owners? here in the Philippines?
I mean, I think one flip side to this whole pet humanization thing is that pets are still pets and not humans, and some of the behaviors are not necessarily the best for the dogs. I think one of you mentioned the strollers earlier. I mean, generally speaking, dogs can walk and they should
Should
walk.
walk.
They
Should
be
walk,
doing
yeah.
so,
So,
we see
yeah.
obese pets because they're not
Exactly.
walking.
So I think some of these ways of over treating them, being overly careful, in the end is not really in their interest. So that is one example. I mean, there's a very trivial example. Some pet owners put these socks onto their
Yeah,
pets
I
at
see
home.
that a lot in BGC
shoes.
especially.
Shoes,
I
yeah.
mean, would you say there's a point that it's inhumane how we're treating pets and how we're dressing them to the point where, like you said, they're not humans, right? They should
Yeah.
be treated not differently, but I'm saying like they're dogs. They should be walking and they shouldn't have shoes. They shouldn't have socks. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a fine line, right? There are things that are still good for them, and if you do them, I mean, if you dress the dog a little bit like her, that's
Like
completely
this,
fine,
like-
right?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
okay.
that's just not
this
any
is
dress.
this is couture.
Couture.
Chiro is our couture girl.
So yeah, do's and don'ts that you would say to avoid, is there such a thing as overparenting?
Over
For-
pet parenting,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
can be helicopter
Yeah.
pet parents.
Yeah, so what are the do's and don'ts to that?
I mean, I think treat your dog as if it was family, or
Okay.
if it's family, but still make sure that what you do aligns with what is actually good for dogs. I mean, one of the other things I think, especially around Manila here, that we are seeing is that very much driven through the pandemic when a lot of people started adopting pets. A lot of these dogs are not properly socialized, right? So because they had to stay at home a lot of these pandemic age dogs did not meet a lot of other dogs during their early days, and they now struggle with other dogs. And I think one of the things here is also that you should try to bring your dog together with other dogs so they can socialize, they can learn how to play.
Like a play date.
Yeah, literally like a play date,
Play date,
yeah.
She sees
So
Yeah.
take them out with other dogs, expose them as
Expose them,
well,
yeah.
and let them do their doggy things together. You agree, right?
agrees.
Chiro
You
agrees.
better
Thank
preach.
you.
You know, this is the first time I've heard her bark. Chiro, can you say something? Do you have any words of encouragement? No? Oh, now you don't want to talk. Now you don't want to talk.
Okay, what do you suggest for fur parents to do less?
I think let the dog be a dog. Honestly, the overparenting is a
agreeing
thing.
Bark.
again.
She said, yes,
The
let me be a
overparenting
dog.
really is a thing.
So I like that, because oftentimes, of course, as a doggy parent, we find it cute, we find it lovely, it's fun, but is it actually comfortable for the dog? Is it actually needed? So just like how you would do with your children, with your child, it's the same thing with our doggies. Okay, must do things for doggies. What's in your top 5 list?
Walk the dog.
Walk the dog.
So
that's one.
how long is
Yeah,
a
that's a
typical
good
walk?
question.
Because most people, they can say just 10 minutes is enough, but I feel like there's an adequate amount of time that they should be walking.
Depends on the dog's size, right? I mean, in the end, a dog like her, you don't need to walk for a long time, but especially if you have bigger dogs, you really do need to take them out.
She's giving her parents a shout out right now. Yes, say hi to your parents, baby Chiro. Yes.
Okay, what's second on the list? Walk the dog? Second,
Give them proper nutrition.
proper nutrition. And when you say nutrition, aside from the meals, what can a dog have?
I think the meals are actually the key thing, to be honest.
Okay.
It matters a lot what you feed your dog, and that's also one of the things that has been changing in the Philippines. Traditionally, a lot of dogs have been fed with leftovers from just what humans were eating.
Yes, this
And
is
of-
very common.
That's very common, yeah. But there are sometimes also things in our food that's not necessarily good for them. For example, we cook with garlic. Garlic is poisonous for dogs. So I think this is already one thing where we're seeing a shift that there's more dog food being bought and dog food given to dogs, which is good. But then I think if you look at dog food, you also need to make sure that it's good dog food. Unfortunately, most dog food that is sold at scale is not necessarily very good for
Actually, I
dogs.
heard about that. So how can fur parents
Yeah.
be more receptive, and how do they check the labels on which food they should buy?
So I think the one very simple thing to look out for is that all pet food in the Philippines needs to be BAI registered. So the-
BAI
Let's repeat that.
registered.
BAI, the Bureau of Animal Industry.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a seal?
There is a so-called CFPR number, which is a product registration number, and every single product needs to be registered. So that is definitely something to watch out for.
Okay.
Because if
I
it
didn't
does
even
not
know
have a BAI number, it's technically not even legally allowed to be sold. After doing that, you should really go through the ingredients. You should look how much protein is in there, how many fillers are in there. You want to get a fairly high percentage of protein, 20 or even 30% and above. You want to avoid other types of, I don't know, for example, byproducts very often are on the label, and you don't really know what that is meat byproduct. Avoid these things. Go on ChatGPT, Google it, right?
Yeah.
And then also, very, very importantly, a lot of dogs have allergies, and actually a lot of dog owners know about them. But I see very often people inquiring or saying, hey, my dog had a reaction, they have an allergy, is there chicken in this product? And we're like, yes, it's on the label.
Yeah, you didn't
So
check.
please do read the label.
Read the label.
Right.
And make sure that it complies with what is needed.
But you know what I've also seen a lot online that most fur parents are doing right now? They're cooking the food using, I mean, human food, like chicken, boiled rice. Thoughts on that?
I think that's good. I mean, generally speaking, a diverse diet is also good for dogs, same as for humans, right?
So don't always stick with one dog food, like switch it up?
If there's a dog food that your dog likes and you know it ticks all the nutritional boxes, of course it's fine to continue feeding your dog with it. But dogs might also get fed up with a certain type of food after some time. So if you put in freshly cooked food from time to time, that's great. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just add one more. So you said walk the dog, then with the nutrition, check on
the
that,
label.
check the labels, and what would you suggest still? One last.
I mean, there's one very basic thing I obviously didn't mention, which is just get their regular checkups done and make sure they're properly immunized. So, of course, neutering and spaying early days, right? But then also making sure they have the shots that they need. I mean, they need to have their rabies shots and so on. Very basic things.
Yeah, actually, you know what I want to ask though, because we're in a hot tropical climate here in the Philippines. I've seen huskies, I've seen Great Pyrenees, like the dogs that are not supposed to be in hot weather.
Yeah.
So are they supposed to be in air conditioning 24/7? When is the appropriate time to walk them? And like, do you think that's humane to keep
And bring them
cold
over
dogs?
here.
Yeah, to bring them here to the Philippines because I get so sad for them when I see them.
So these are my opinions. I'm also not a vet,
Right.
right? I think this is best answered by a vet. Of course, I think these dogs traditionally have not existed in warm climates.
Right.
They are here, and I think we see them struggle. You can very often see their tongues out. It's hot for them. I mean, dogs cannot sweat, right?
So those are the signs, right?
Those are the signs,
Tongues
yeah. Dogs
out,
cannot
okay.
sweat, right? They only sweat through their feet and also through the tongue. So placing them into cold water, for example, making them stand in there helps. But of course, it's better for these types of dogs to be in cooler rooms.
Yeah, so
Nevertheless,
always
they need to walk.
aircon.
No,
They
but
do
those
need
are
to
good
walk.
Right.
things to highlight so that you get to know your pet
Yeah.
more. You've been in the industry for a couple of years already here in the Philippines. What would you say is something that's just not just only trending, but also an important product or an important thing that most of the Filipino pet owners have been craving for or
And that we're
really-
lacking here in the Philippines
Yes.
that you're going to bring to us.
So, I mean, these products that I mentioned earlier were something that we brought here and that flew off the shelves. I think the big trend that we are now seeing is cats. So, traditionally,
We have
the
cats here in the
A
Bilyonaryo
lot.
News studio.
Philippines has been a huge dog country, but cat ownership is going through the roof. So if you look at online sales on Shopee and the likes, you can see that this category of cats is growing like crazy. And this is a trend that we have also started hopping onto. We founded a cat brand called Professor Bengal last year.
Oh,
and
cute.
actually, we just launched it officially yesterday. So we're trying to provide the same type of healthy products that people can rely on and trust for cats that we already provide for dogs. But that's a huge trend. And also the average amount of spending for cat products is actually higher nowadays than for
Higher
dogs.
than dogs?
Really? Before we let you go,
Interesting.
what's the spend range for fur babies? Let's do dogs and cats right now that you mentioned that.
I mean, that really depends on each person. But if you just compare the average basket size of an order for cats, it's probably 30% higher than for dogs.
Interesting.
But the
Wow.
ranges are obviously very big because you can buy very, very cheap dog food for, I don't know, 500 pesos for a big, big bag that will
Yeah.
last for a month or so. And of course, you can also pay tenfold or even 15-fold.
Yeah.
depends on the quality, where it's produced, and so on. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for enlightening us. Our
Yeah.
special guest, Chiro, she got distracted. There's so
left
many people
us.
here.
She has a lot of
She wanted to
fans.
play with all of them.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to hang out with y'all. She wants to hang out with them. But thank you so much, Philipp Renner,
Thank
who
you.
is the co-founder of Dr. Shiba. Thank you so much for coming and making time
Thank you
for
for
us
having me.
here. Of course.